Yo, what is going on, everybody? And welcome to a special edition of the Sport Your Enthusiasm podcast. Again, I am your humble host, Bryce Benjamin, and I have brought back my special guest one more time, my main man, Marques Estell. What's going on, man?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome back, man. We just had you here a couple of days ago.
Yep.
And got you back. We're going to go ahead and review one of the most epic fights that I have seen in recent memory. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, heavyweight bout, just concluded literally about 8 hours ago?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's definitely fresh in our minds. I definitely want to get Marky back in here to discuss this fight, get our thoughts and opinions on it while it's still fresh, and get this podcast recorded. So, yeah, man. So last night, we finally seen the conclusion, the commencement of the fight we've been waiting for a long time, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. And needless to say, definitely lived up to the hype, man.
That's for sure. For one thing for sure, yeah.
Definitely, very, very much so worth the wait. Excellent fight. Went 12 rounds, back and forth action. Everything that you can want in a heavyweight bout, it delivered. So great fight. And I want to go ahead and get your thoughts on the fight here. So 12-round bout here, very controversial decision. A lot of people are discussing it, saying that, feeling like that Tyson Fury got robbed, and some people saying that Wilder got robbed. So very back and forth. So let's get your initial thoughts on the fight, man. What you think about it?
Well, first of all, I don't think nobody got robbed in here. Like, we got a hell of a fight that we just, get to witness. But on Fury and why he felt that he got robbed, I can understand. Because this man outboxed Wilder, like, really good. He outboxed him. He surprised me, actually. Like, his jab was so sharp. And not only was his jab sharp and continuous, he had like a mean-ass 1-2. His 1-2 was sick. Wilder, he didn't have an answer for that. Like, between the jab and the 1-2, the head movement, being elusive as everybody expected him to be. Like, I gave my prediction, I said round 10, he'd be elusive enough to get to the later rounds, championship rounds. But I thought Wilder would, take his head off, which brings me to Wilder's side, why he would feel that he also won the fight, is because in my eyes too, because I watched a little bit of his little post fight interview, but in my eyes too, I feel like Wilder, he accomplished a lot, but he let himself get down on the scorecard. That's why he's content with this decision. The ultimate scheme of it. But he got so far behind that he had to make a move, Mm-hmm. And I think he did an excellent job of laying the chips out on the table. And like, man, I'm here for a reason. Like, when it was getting to round 10, I literally thought, I was like, yo, Wilder's in trouble. Mm-hmm. If he don't get a second knockdown, we might be seeing like a crazy upset. But Wilder held it together so perfect, which brings me to the point of when he did get that knockdown, I thought the ref would stop it immediately.
Right.
I thought he was flatlined. Like, that's one of my main arguments of a Wilder case, which I'm pretty sure he feel the same way. That, man, how wasn't that over? When Wilder turned and did the "I killed you" sign, like, he grabbed his neck. Yeah, he like
the throat slit,
ear to throat. Yeah. I mean, ear to ear. He was like, "Yo, it's on. Mm-hmm. It's over. I came to do what I did. 12th round. You made it here, but I cleaned your ass out."
Right.
But it's amazing how Tyson Fury got up, even though he was flatlined for like that good 7 seconds. And I'm also with Wilder on the fact of, he said he felt like that count was a little off. Like, they could have started the count a little earlier, which I feel the same. They definitely gave Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt. Like the ref, in my eyes, damn near helped his ass up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a huge argument. So with the draw, like, you can only be satisfied with that draw. You can only be satisfied. Like, I don't see how either party, and they both held it together well, not displaying, like, pouring out the emotions of, I know I won this fight. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely show some sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they definitely respect one another because they both brought it this fight.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to start off from the beginning of the fight. All right, so rounds. Well, first of all, let's go to the judges. They scored the fight. The one judge scored it 114 to 110 in Fury's favor. The other judge scored it 115 to 111 in Wilder's favor. And then the last judge scored it a draw, 113-113. And ultimately, we had a split decision draw. And that's how the fight ultimately came to a decision. So, I want to start off with the first couple of rounds. So the fight starts off, and usually whenever a boxing match starts off, the fighters are usually feeling themselves out, feeling the other fighter out. So it starts off with, a lot of pity pat, a lot of jabs, and, just to kind of test the waters. And the first two rounds, honestly, I gave to Wilder. I felt like that, first of all, he is the champion. And I didn't feel like Fury did enough to take those rounds.
Right.
I felt like that Wilder was more of the aggressor, even though Fury did land the cleaner shots. I will admit that. He landed the cleaner shots. I felt like that Wilder was more of the aggressor. I felt like he simply threw more punches. I felt like that he controlled the pace of the fight from the beginning for the first two rounds. And he established ring control. He was walking Tyson Fury down. And Fury was able to counter with a couple of nice combinations, especially at the end of round one. He hit him with a nice two-piece jab that was very clean. And then that ended the round. But I felt like that Wilder was the aggressor. I felt like that he took control of it in the first round. I gave him that round. And then the second round, again, I feel like that Wilder was the aggressor again. Even though he was swinging kind of wildly, he tried to establish his jab. I felt like that early on, Wilder was kind of overextending his jab.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't really snapping it.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't really snapping his jab and controlling distance. So he's just kind of just laying it out there and trying to set up that right hand. It looked like early. So he threw a couple of wild punches that obviously missed, but definitely still was the aggressor. Walked Tyson Fury down, and I feel like that he won the first two rounds, in my opinion.
Now, with the first two rounds. Like, I feel the same way you feel as far as Deontay Wilder controlling, like, the pace, like, backing him up. He did get some jabs in there. I just feel like Tyson Fury outworked him. I would have gave Tyson Fury round one and Deontay Wilder round two. Mm-hmm. But and Deontay Wilder, he did a little bit more in round two, as he tried to get settled in and adjust to Tyson Fury's elusiveness, his backing up, head movement, and, sticking that jab out there. But another thing, like, Wilder, he had a little lump on his eye, but some of them jabs that Tyson Fury was hitting him with was just like line up straight point jabs. Like, I'm going to tap you. He was like flinging the wrist, the jab. He was not a real big puncher, just pointing them.
They was jabs to control the distance. He kept Wilder at bay with the jabs, and those jabs later on in the fight set up his combinations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what Tyson Fury was kind of doing in those early rounds. He was throwing the jab out there, controlling the distance, letting Wilder know that you're not just going to come in here and just throw bombs on me. That's not going to be happening. Like, you're going to come in, you're going to eat a couple of these, hold that.
Yeah.
So I felt like that, Fury kind of gave away those first two rounds, in my opinion. Like you said, there was point scores, but I felt like that they weren't enough for the first two rounds, in my opinion. But you had it 1-2. We go one round to Fury, one round to Wilder, the first two rounds, right?
Right.
Okay, so I gave the first two rounds to Wilder. All right, so the next round, so 3 through 8, I feel like Tyson Fury easily won those rounds, in my opinion. To me, Tyson Fury, he had the cleaner combinations, hands down. Like the herky jerky movement, very unorthodox style that we had talked about last podcast. it kind of got to Wilder. He couldn't figure it out. So I feel like Tyson Fury footwork, his movements, and he was hitting him with the jab, hitting him with the head movement, hitting him with the feints, and was able to get off some clean combinations and be able to move out the way before Wilder can retaliate with the counter. And I felt like he did that for literally rounds 3 through 8, the whole joint. Excellent footwork and movement, and definitely frustrated Wilder. Wilder couldn't seem to figure it out. And I felt like that Tyson Fury didn't allow him to land that patented 1-2 punch that Wilder is known for.
Right.
That we had talked about last podcast.
Right. And, the 1-2 that Wilder do well, he definitely abandoned that. He abandoned the game plan. He didn't go to the body. He didn't get into a good rhythm. He pretty much he really wanted that big right hand, that overhand right. He was anticipating a little bit too much to get
right.
that. That's what set him back. Mm-hmm. And Tyson Fury, man, like this dude get a lot of credit, man. Like you said, those rounds 3 through 8, you can say he definitely outboxed him. He got in a rhythm to the point where
definitely established a rhythm.
It started looking like it was easy for him to get that rhythm.
Right.
Now, the round that he got knocked down for the first time, I think it was round 8.
No, that was round 9, but we're going to get to that. I want to stick to round 3 through 8
Okay,
quick.
3 through 8.
Yeah.
So, I was just trying to get my rounds in perspective.
Right.
But now that you say that, it was round 9. I actually think Deontay Wilder could have made an argument for one more of those rounds. Like, it could have been pretty close, you know? But if you give it to Tyson Fury, man, like, there's no argument with that. He definitely outworked, man.
Yeah.
At no point in the fight, even with the knockdowns or whatever went on in the fight, I did not see Tyson Fury fold under pressure. He held it together, and even getting knocked down, he got right back up and was fighting.
Like you were saying, though, when in those rounds, you could see that Wilder, his game plan going in, and it looked like the game plan was get Fury out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy, he's been out of boxing for 2.5 years. Let's get him out of there. It seemed like that's what he went into, and all he could see was he trying to throw the jab and throw that right hand to try to knock him out. And every time he tried it, he telegraphed it every time, and Fury seen it coming and slipped and ducked it, and he couldn't touch him.
Countered him.
Countered him.
Countered him probably about 60% of the time.
Right.
Like,
so every time Wilder's
big right hand,
every time Wilder's coming in, he's getting tagged.
Right.
Without getting a hit off. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, this is like for those 3 through 8 was looking real rough for Wilder. And I was like, man, Wilder is in trouble.
I agree.
He's in trouble. While Fury was controlling the fight, he got into a groove, he got into a rhythm, controlled the fight from that point forward. And I was very shocked. I thought Fury was going to wear down. I had Fury being knocked out in round 8. I picked Wilder by knockout in round 8. I thought Fury would have wore down, but he looked fresh as a daisy.
Phenomenal.
So footwork was still there, and he controlled those rounds, in my opinion. So round 9 gave to Wilder. Obviously, that was a 10-8 round. Then that's where he scored the knockdown. And I felt like that Tyson Fury, again, that round, the whole round, he was controlling the fight. He was hitting them with the 1-2s. He was hitting with the combinations. He was moving. He was feinting. Wilder really couldn't time his punches. He couldn't hit him. And Tyson Fury was controlling the round. I do feel that, I don't know if it's a combination of him getting lazy, him getting comfortable, or him getting too confident. But he eventually let Wilder walk him down. He let him get him against the ropes, and he dropped his hands. And that's when Wilder hit him with that right hook that clipped him behind the ear and eventually dropped him. It wasn't a hard knockdown. It was more of like a equilibrium knockdown.
Right. I think I agree with you on that. Tyson Fury is a little too relaxed at that point. And Deontay Wilder was able to capitalize.
Right.
And, slip that punch in there. Now,